So, my sister casually mentioned she might be alright learning Dota the other day. I fucking ran with this. My sister, who plays shooters and has never touched anything like this before, suggested that she might be alright learning a game as complex as this. Where on earth do I start? I don't remember a lot about my own learning experience. Dota was my first branch into the genre, and I was thrown in the deep end. My partner at the time was a League player who wanted to master the harder game. So, my League playing ex-boyfriend wanted to play carry, and lo and behold, here I was. His girlfriend at the time, who could also learn at the same time, and who would be his pocket support. He just threw me in with some friends we both knew, and I had to swim or get fucked. My own stubbornness is how I managed to float. I'm not sure I could do this with my sibling. As much as I love Dota, it's the kind of game that if you go, no, when you first try, you're never going to pick it back up again. So how do I teach her everything? Without her getting bored in a lobby with us just going over mechanics, or being curb stomped in some pubs by some juicy ancient who's been matched with our stag. There's no way I'm going to let her play alone for her first few games. I've played this game for years, I know what our community is like to newcomers. So I hatched a plan. We started by picking her 2 or 3 heroes, and these would be her foundation. If she could master these, she'd learn the others just by playing against them. We opened the hero panel, and she got instantly overwhelmed. There are just a few heroes to choose from. So I just told her to pick at random. Click on a hero, see if they looked cool or she liked the sound of their abilities or aesthetic. She stumbled over Luna pretty quickly. Then found Mirana soon after that. When she asked for a third, I suggested PA. An easy carry to learn ability-wise, as well as another carry. As much as I'm a support player and would find it easier to teach her that, I wanted her to have more of a choice than I did. Support was 100% the right choice for me, I'd love it and it's my best role, but it was chosen for me. My sister is more of a fighter than I am, so I think after some practice, carry would work well for her. After we found her 3 heroes to start with, I dropped us into an empty lobby so I could start with the basics. Oh boy, I forgot we all started like this at some point. I will state here, she picked up everything really fast, considering she didn't know how to move the camera and lost a hero a few times. And talking to her the next day, she remembered a lot of the information I dumped on her. But there was a lot of information that I had to dump on her. We didn't leave the fountain for the first 15 minutes, just because I had to show her so much. Explaining the shop and basic courier mechanics, which hotkeys to press to buy items really fast, when and where you could buy items directly. I didn't even get to the secret shop right away. I had to just go, you can only buy these items at the secret shop, I'll show you this later. There was just so much. I wanted to go on about courier snipes and micromanaging it and speed boosts and courier baits, but that's a lot of information all at once. And if it took me 15 minutes to go over shop basics, I didn't want us to be there for half an hour going over stuff that she'd learn organically anyway. We all learn it differently, whether it's watching a courier just speed past you before you can kill it, or having your team scream at you for not boosting your own courier yourself. I mean, it happens less now, we all have our own couriers, but still. I explained the basics of the courier, buying items, warding, and lanes. The most I got into with neutrals were, if they drop an item, pick that shit up before it gets stolen. I really had to limit myself on what I told her. To me, all these mechanics were easy, but I've known them for years. It was a real struggle to narrow down what exactly I considered the basics. As I've already hinted at, well, not quite hinted at, more dumped on you. This game is so complex, but I think I succeeded in at least getting a foundation in there. She enjoyed PA, got really excited when she landed arrows or got close when playing bottom. I'd never really understood why some people enjoyed playing with bots so much. I was a real snob about it. Why would you play without real people on either team? But after playing with my sister and partner, who, by the way, took it as a challenge to slap as many bots as he could, and hearing her get super excited over little things, I can see the appeal. Still not for me, but I have a stronger respect for her now. She seemed to be enjoying herself too. I saw her sitting in the river at 1940 and asked what she was doing there. We were pushing tier 4s. She replied with, "I'm waiting for the rune. I was already here and we've got to contest it." We were pushing a tier 1 top with no creeps. The tower was at low health and she growled, "Fuck it, it's almost dead," and starts man-fighting this tower, eventually destroying it on her own. It was amazing. I could hear her happiness and excitement, and it made me happy to hear it. Although I haven't taught her about backdoor protection yet. That will probably have to be in our next lesson. I know Valve added a tutorial and a new player mode when the anime launched, but as I don't have access to the new player mode, I don't know if the lower levels are still infested with smurfs, and I am a little worried. My sister is the best and understands my worry. She's a shooter player and understands the pain of Smurfs well. But I really wanted to have fun. I really want to play with her. So I'm not sure I should get her to risk that mode on her own. The plan right now is to get a 5-stack. So at least if we lose, we can lose as a team, without someone flaming us the whole match. I've said it before, we are trash as a community to new players. I'm going to do a few more games with her soon. Probably still bots, but I'd at least like her to get more familiar with movement. I haven't touched items or stats yet. She just builds what I tell her. I did stress the importance of a BKB though. I'll make a decent carry out of her yet, don't worry. Even if my rank doesn't inspire confidence, I know a little at least. I'm hoping that by introducing her slowly to the game at her own pace, she'll keep wanting to play with me, and we'll get some new blood. I can't remember the last time I got matched with a new player. Everyone has a few K hours like I do. Hopefully we can slowly start being nicer to our new players. Then our game would continue to grow. Who am I kidding? We're just gonna flame the shit out of them like always. But maybe we'll get more 5-stacks with newbies at least. I spoke to her the day after and she started calling creeps creepers. And I just... that's the cutest thing I've ever heard. I know Valve added a tutorial and a new player mode when they turn it, but